It's me. It's Simon. Cool. So stoked, guys. You know me. I'm a product guy, and I'm really trying to, in the tail end of the year, get a little bit more back into the technical mode, back into the weeds, refamiliarize myself with the command line interface. And I figured the best way to do that would be to find an open source product, tool, community, maybe future community that I like, that I want to be a part of, that I can maybe contribute to. You know, starting at WordPress, coming up through DBT, I really kind of miss that part of my professional journey right around open source and the community piece and the real collaborative, working out loud aspect of that. So this series is really meant to be me kind of trying to introduce myself to this platform and sort of sharing that journey with y'all. And the platform that I picked is called Kixx, Kixx, hence Kixx for Kicks, just kind of doing it for fun. And it really appeals to me for three big reasons. Reason number one is they're really focused on the little d democratization of app development. As you know, like I'm really motivated by big ideas, and bringing sort of some of the most powerful tools of our generation to everybody is really appealing and really attractive to me. Second is their commitment to like human-centered development. AI is a tool for humans to use, for humans to get better and to build better things. And then they specifically call out like trying to avoid the environmental impacts of the large language models that we're seeing worldwide. So those are three things that are really exciting to me. I will say I originally recorded what you're about to watch with my hood on, with my earbuds in at 6 o'clock before the rest of my family was awake. So it turns out that when you record through your earbud mic with a hood up, it sounds like trash. It sounds really bad. So we're going to be doing this kind of funny thing where I am applying a voiceover to my own sort of shared screen development experience. So it's a little weird, but that's what we're doing. I learned a lesson, and I hope you like it. Look at this guy, sipping his coffee. He's got no idea his audio is going to be total trash. So I'm just talking. I'm like, oh, it's 6 a.m. My family's all asleep. That's why I'm not in my beautiful office, because my kids are next door and I don't wake them up, blah, blah. Biting my nails on camera. Very low quality behavior. And okay, so I'm explaining, I'm gonna go check out open source, talking more about Kixx. I'm doing some screen share, which is pretty cool. You can see I'm opening up different tools here that I'm going to be using throughout this. I've got my running notes doc. Got, of course, ChatGPT in case I need some help. Got to change that to 4.0, of course. I mean, who's using 5.0? Here's running notes for myself and for the open source maintainers in case it's helpful. And here it is. There it is. This is the website. If you haven't seen it, kixx.dev. Cool explanation of what's going on, kind of what they're thinking about. You can add your email there. I'm already in there, so I didn't do it in this case. And I'm not sure what I'm talking about now. Maybe there's a fly on the ceiling. I'm definitely think I'm clever though. Okay. Well, yeah. He's talking about the same AI piece, the way of leveraging AI in a clever way, smart way, ethical way. Oh yeah. So here I'm just describing, I used to work at WordPress. So this is something I'm going to be using to compare what's the startup experience like for Kixx. You can see it's a little stripped down. Of course, WordPress is decades old at this point, so got a lot more miles. Here I go, diving in. It's going to be great. Yeah, and so I opened GitHub, everybody's favorite version control repository. So this is the Kixx framework. I can drop a link to this in the show notes as well. And here we go. Fortunately, there's a Kickstart guide, and that's what I'm gonna go for. That's what I'm gonna try to get through in this video, and we'll see how it goes. I'm chuckling about something, drinking again. I think probably it's bad etiquette to have food or drink when you're making a YouTube video. I'm not really sure. Probably something I should check out. So here we can see I've got to download get node.js on my machine, figure out the best way to do that. So I think first I mess up my screen share pretty bad. I think we go into a little bit of a riverside vortex, if I recall correctly. So here we go. Look how confused I am. I'm going through all these different screens. Here we go. I look so confident with my Newport Tower hat. And here we go. About to make a big mistake. There it is. Look at that. It's pretty cool, right?
Crazy.
This is how the sausage is made, folks. Here we go. All right, so then I kind of figure out what I need to do. You can see my OBS software. Oh my gosh, this is kind of embarrassing. I'm going to leave it in. I'm leaving it in. I'm working out loud, truly transparent. So I think here in a second, I do figure out how to share the whole screen. And the purpose of that is to kind of really show off my total inability to meaningfully navigate the command line without significant Google-based assistance. So yeah, look at that, eyes narrowed. This is true focus, folks. This is true focus. Oh, we can kind of see in my glasses that I'm looking at myself. We are going to get to the technology here in just a moment. Okay, so now you can see I've got a proper screen share. You can see the whole desktop. Opening terminal up, and you can see it's not really customized. I don't have my skin set up or anything like that. This is probably the first time I've opened the command line on this laptop, if I'm being honest. There we go, getting everything set up just totally perfect. And here, doing the classic engineering workflow, just Googling what I'm supposed to do next. So here we go. I'm checking out Node.js. This is a JavaScript framework, I guess. Probably, given my behavior and what you're hearing me say, it's no surprise that I don't really know what I'm doing.
I've installed Node.js.
Just a little audio came through from the original. That's pretty cool. All right.
New project.
Looking through, continuing with the quick start piece here, seeing what Chris at Kixx has laid out for us.
Kixx,
create a project directory. Make sure I got a package.json file.
Install.
Here we go.
Set up your project.
Pretty much just trying to follow the instructions in this situation. I'm not good at many things, but I'm pretty good at following directions when they're written out clearly, and they are in this case. I imagine somebody who's got NPM, somebody who's got kind of everything already set up on their machine would not be struggling with this, in part because they would have more of an idea of what they were doing. It does feel like this kind of quick start guide, this general experience, is probably intended for someone who's not Googling how do you make a new directory in the command line. The crazy thing is I do kind of remember some of this stuff. When I first started using computers in like elementary school, we were using like MS-DOS. So like dir W, and like I'm not totally unfamiliar with using a command line, and I kind of had to use it a little bit when I was teaching myself R, which the super old blog heads remember. Oh my gosh, S12K, the R Studio days. Oof, that was like 14 years ago. That's crazy to think about. I wonder how ggplot2 is doing.
There it is.
Maybe it's up to ggplot3. So we can see here I'm kind of working my way through my command line experience, trying to get a sense of like, okay, how do I make a directory? How do I kind of follow these directions? You know, I didn't really expect this project to educate me so much on kind of the very basics of engaging with my computer directly, I guess, or networks directly, or code in the command line sort of way, especially coming from tools like WordPress, like dbt Cloud, which have more kind of what you think of like non-technical interfaces. So this is actually really good, and it's good for my brain to be thinking about software and thinking about code in a different way. All right, so what am I doing here? Make JSON file. Yeah, so I'm a little confused here. I think I'm making a little bit of an error. I think this is kind of a red herring, if I recall correctly. I think I might have
just create
Vim, but some kind of in-code editor to make the appropriate JSON file. But I don't think I really needed to do this. I'm not entirely sure. But you can see I am definitely not sure kind of as I'm recording it. So what's going on here, I think, is in the Kixx startup instructions, it says you need to have a package.json file. And I was never a great reader, despite being excellent at following directions. Also, I've always been a great reader. I don't know. That's not a good.
What is the editor that people like for?
Especially science fiction. But if I had read a little bit further in these instructions, I would have seen, okay, actually, when you run the command, part of what that does is it creates the package.json file. And I think maybe I'm,
I can just
coming to realize that right
make
now.
JSON.
And there I go, drinking a cup of coffee again. I apologize, gang. It's just rude. All this on-screen coffee consumption.
Yeah. Like,
All right, so
terminal.
I thought I maybe figured it out, but it does seem like I'm going back to Google on this one. I don't know why I opened ChatGPT if I wasn't going to use it. If I was just going to go straight to Google. I guess that's just sort of a little bit of a demonstration of how habits get formed. So now I'm using the touch command. Don't love the name of that command.
Package.json. Oh, we could do
going ahead and trying to create a package.json file directly, rather than leveraging what the directions say, which is just to quickly do it with npm init. Like it's pretty clear that I'm unintentionally opting out of the quickest path, perhaps for views, perhaps for clicks, not intentionally, but just my own sort of buffoonish stumbling here has led me to really extending the overall timeline here. So let's see. Put my head in my hands, clearly thinking a lot. Oh, okay. So
npm
init. So I finally figured out that the command was not found. So it seems like maybe I have not installed all of the aspects of Node that I might need. So I do have Brew, I think, on this laptop, which doesn't make sense if I've never opened command line. So I must have opened it at some point. Let's see what Stack Overflow has to say. Again, not sure why I opened ChatGPT if I just wasn't going to use it. Maybe just for spite. Maybe just to kind of signal that I'm into LLMs. And yet here I am, like seeing what normal humans seem to think about it. So it does look like I'm going to go ahead and use Brew. Going to use Brew to install npm, which then I think is going to allow me to take advantage of that, like quick setup suggestion in the Kixx instructions. So let's see, a lot of text flying there. Hopefully, not installing a command line on my laptop. Okay, here we go. Stack Overflow. Here we go. Back to Kixx.dev. Just kind of giving it another scroll through, I suppose, as I'm waiting for Brew to do its thing. So one kind of interesting thing is the Kixx.dev site, I think, is itself built with Kixx. So I think probably the move for me is going to be to use the app to try to just build a really simple website to start. And then maybe some kind of an application that does something really simple a little further down the road. So that's kind of what Kixx.dev is built with Kixx. It'll serve as a good sample, a good way for me to kind of troubleshoot and come to understand
some most common items
in future episodes. Okay, so we can see, all right, I've done the command. Got some talking about common items. Press C to cancel package name. Yep, so the package name, we're calling it Kixx for Kixx.
Yes.
All right. So I think we're maybe on
package
step. Here we go. So I'm writing a package name here. I think maybe these are just like kind of a standard taxonomy that gets asked anytime you make a new package. But I'm taking it probably too seriously for just goofing around. I didn't expect there to be so many questions. But yeah,
I don't know if you have a brief for this. I don't know any keywords.
Yeah, so you can see like entry point. Like, I don't know. I guess I'll have to figure those out kind of as I get moving through this process. Like right now, they don't really mean very much to me, but hopefully they will sort of mean something to me as we get moving along. But at this point, I'm really just trying to get this project started. I really just want to be able to render something in the browser and have kind of some signal that this journey is making something valuable, kind of helping me learn something, really kind of getting something going. 0 vulnerabilities. We love to see it. Okay, that's great. So what are you going to do now, Simon? What are you going to do? What do the instructions say? Set up your scaffolding, dude. You got this. Is he going to copy paste it? Nope. Just gonna type it in like a caveman.
Yeah.
You know, it's really an unusual experience, kind of watching yourself do things in a way that's so clearly suboptimal.
JSON
But I guess this is just kind of
C
what all memory is, right? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
and no end. HTTP error
Yeah. So I've got
JSON
kind of a
C. Did I do that?
error situation here that
Did I
I'm
just
trying to
misspell?
navigate. Looks like it's looking for Kixx.config JSON C, which is a little confusing. I'm not sure. Like, did I maybe copy paste something incorrectly? Or is something incorrect in the sort of Kixx script itself? Yeah, you can see I'm kind of trying to figure out exactly.
So we're going to use the terminal. Use the terminal.
Again, just going
See
back
what's
to
going on here.
old Google. Going back to Google to just see if I can't find how to look in a directory. It feels like pretty basic stuff. But you know what? I'm a basic kind of guy in my taste and also in my ability to navigate the command line, I guess. So you can see here, I'm just kind of looking through, trying to get a sense of what's in there, if this is a me thing, if this is maybe something in the overall like installer isn't going correctly, and I'm really trying to investigate it without going through Finder, without going through kind of my usual toolkit. And that's not easy, to kind of stretch out a little bit. And what am I doing? I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. You can see here I'm just trying to check it out again. Unknown command.
Yeah.
And I think what's going on here is I might be in the wrong directory. Let's see. I'm trying to remember how I fixed this. Okay, so npm Kixx. Okay, here we go. Copy pasting. I figured it out, you guys. I figured it out. Let's see. Okay. Up to date, no vulnerabilities. Love that. Hope to continue to have no vulnerabilities. That sounds great, actually. I'm going to try this again. We're going to copy paste this time directly from, and same error it looks like. But this time I can more clearly see, or now I, doing the voiceover, can kind of see that the problem here is it looks like we're missing a .git ignore. And with the benefit of hindsight, I now realize that a file like gitignore, which is prefixed with a period, is, in a Mac experience at least, considered a hidden file, which means that you're not going to see it by default. So this is pretty confusing for me. And I do think it does end up being that there just isn't a gitignore file, or maybe there wasn't one where it was looking for, or maybe some part of my early attempt to create a manual JSON file, like put it in the wrong spot or deleted it or something like that. Probably eagle-eyed viewers will be able to rewind back and identify exactly where I made the mistake. And feel free to throw that in the comments. It'll make you look smart and make me look more like a beginner. Hard to imagine that that's possible, but here we are. Okay, so here I am. I'm kind of figuring it out, muddling my way through. Again, this is a situation where I probably could have just asked ChatGPT, and I'm not totally sure why I didn't. Yep. So I can see in GitHub, there's the gitignore, right? Gitignore is not hidden in GitHub. I can see what's meant to be in it. So this is a little confusing, but I think I am doing the right thing here. So I'm copy pasting the gitignore file, Mac, terminal, create text file. Brilliant. Here we go. Just not Vim. Anything but that. Okay. So I've already tried touch. Don't love the name of that command. So we're going to use echo. This is cool, actually. I think I do use echo. Here we go. Let's see it. So an in-terminal text editor. I know that probably is old hat for anybody here with a computer science degree or much of a background in development, but it, I don't know, feels kind of cool. It makes me feel really smart, like somebody who knows what they're doing, to be kind of pursuing a in-text text editor. So I'm trying the touch command again. It's really not working for me. Here we go. All right. So I'm kind of using AI. I'm using the AI overview in Google instead of the ChatGPT window, which is open right there, which I set up and I sort of put to the right version, and it's fine. Next time. Boom. There it is. There it is. A terminal-based text editor. Feels kind of cool. Feels kind of smart. the real question is, how long is it going to take me to exit the terminal-based text editor? The answer is maybe the rest of the video. Yeah, the sort of bane of every first terminal text editor experience is, how do I get out of here? How do I save and exit? But of course, the AI summary makes it much easier. And there we go. Not sure why I'm opening Finder there. Okay, it looks like we're good. Okay, let's see if it worked. So couldn't find git ignore. The command was saying it expected a git ignore. Copy pasted the contents of the git ignore from GitHub into a terminal-based text editor, Echo, and I'm very impressed by the colors offered by npm. There's always, with that node package module, node package manager, something like that. Okay, so we have a git ignore. I can look at me just typing in ls like I'm an experienced terminal user. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I think this is the moment where I'm coming to understand the hidden file dimension here. Yeah, so had to cheat, kind of gave up on the full terminal experience. Let's see, I'm not sure what I'm even looking for here. Oh, I'm trying to find exactly what we're looking at here. Yep. The ongoing confusion. Again with the coffee. Like, how much coffee is enough coffee? Like, it can't be good for me to be drinking this much coffee. So I'm looking at Kixx, and see, even there it is. And it's starting to dawn on me here that I'm getting I'm tying myself up in knots a little bit. But I think we might even just be ready to go. So let's see. Ready, go. Oh, no, again, no such file or directory. .git ignore. So it looks like maybe the problem here is that I've created the git ignore file, but maybe I put it in the wrong directory. Let's see what I'm doing here. So I'm changing the project template. I'm looking at what's in it. Okay, and I don't see a git ignore in project template. Can you not see hidden files even in terminal? That seems kind of suboptimal. Like, if you're in terminal, probably you ought to be able to see all of the files. Like, why? What would be the best? Okay, well, here we go. Okay, back to Stack Overflow. It just continuing to totally ignore ChatGPT. But let's see. Let's use the command. So I guess you don't see all hidden files by default in terminal. It's definitely not what I would have expected. Okay, what are you doing here, Simon? Okay, trying the touch command again. Let's see if that. Here we go. So I'm creating a second git ignore file from the GitHub repo on Kixx, copy pasting it into the editor. Here we go. Let's see if I can exit without looking it up. Nice. Nice, cool. Good job. Good job past me. But did it work? Let's see. Okay, -a, there it is. Okay, there's a git ignore. It's got the contents from the GitHub repo. Let's see if we can get this thing going. Okay, moving into the Kixx directory, Kixx for Kixx. That's this web series, by the way, if you haven't been listening, if you haven't been paying attention somehow. Okay. I think this could be it. This could be good. Here we go. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Is this it? Are we good? Is this going to work? So I'm saying something. What am I saying? I don't know. It looks important. Oh no. I really don't know. Okay. Okay. So here we go. Init, new Kixx, init project. Okay. Kind of anticlimactic. The command worked. Doesn't seem like didn't get any bells or whistles, unlike npm, which gives you some green text, no vulnerabilities. Okay, so taking some notes here. I figure at the end of this series, I can share these with Chris and whoever else is working on the Kixx project. I think in general, it's a good idea to just take notes, to kind of document what you're doing, what you're working on, kind of what the problems were. A little bit, this video is kind of some of that documentation, but I don't want to have to ask them to watch, 26 minutes of me stumbling through terminal. But they might enjoy it. Who knows? Okay, so I've started the web app. I think it succeeded. Now I need to start a server so that I will be able to render it in a browser. Okay, looks like successfully. It's on a port. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Just kind of looking up npx at this point, just out of curiosity. Node package manager, npx. Okay, here we go. Let's see it. Is it gonna work? Hey, oh, wow. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh, you can see I'm celebrating there. This is great. What an outcome. So it exists. Troubleshot a bunch of stuff in terminal, figured out how to use it. Look how happy I am. Look how relieved I am. Look at that. Oh my gosh, feels good to have something appear in a browser window, right? That's a funny way to get an accomplishment, but I'll take it. Well done. Oh, and now he takes his hood off. Awesome. Cool dude. All right, I'll see y'all next time. Okay, here we go. So no longer muted. Testing. All right, let's see how this goes.